Accucare Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine in Brick, New Jersey offers a state-of-the-art facility with all the best and current treatments. With athletic trainers, massage therapists, and doctors of physical therapy, Accucare has everything you need to stay healthy and perform at the highest level. Cupping, stretching, laser therapy, compression boots, and a full-body cryo chamber are just some of what you can expect at Accucare. Check out their website and social media links in my bio. No prescription is needed to see them. So call them today and start feeling and performing at your best. Again, thank you to Accucare for sponsoring the Shore Football Report. Just got two things to say right now. First, I want to thank Accucare. They are awesome, our great sponsor. Get there. If you haven't been there yet, make an appointment, get to Accucare, especially towards the end of the season when your body needs to get that extra push and be healthy on the football field. Rehabilitation, recovery, they are the best. Make an appointment, call them and tell them you're coming. All right. The Shore Football Report is definitely endorsing going to Accucare. They're the best out there right now. And they have athletes going there around the clock, all sports, and that's that. And also, when you're transitioning to another sport, your body is gonna be needing this Accucare treatment because you're using different body parts. So just make sure that you utilize Accucare, located in Brick. They are the best. I love being associated with them. They are part of the team, the Shore Football Report team. All right. The other thing I want to say is this: subscribe to the Shore Football Report YouTube channel. Every one of you, when you watch it, click subscribe. It's free. It's free. Turn the notifications off if you don't want to hear it, but subscribe. By you subscribing, says thank you. I need 1,000. I want 1,000 subscribers. Please, 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 please subscribe. Scott Stump says I don't say it enough on our show. That's why we don't got 1,000 subscribers. But subscribe. All joking aside, it's the cool thing to do. All right, join the Shore Football Report team. We got so many things that are going to be going on our YouTube channel, not just our talk shows. We're going to have extensive all-star team coverage that we're going to do. Also, yes, you've been asking, the Stumpy Awards, they're coming back. The Stumpy Awards are coming back from 8 years ago, and I know you guys are going to love it. So we're going to have all my all-star teams, all county, all shore, all division, my rankings of players, because I changed things up and seeing how guys are playing, adding the freshmen, the 2026s are going to be included in that rankings too. It's a lot of stuff, all going to be on our YouTube, the Shore Football Report YouTube. Subscribe. You won't want to miss it. In the off season, I'll be doing things around the clock for recruiting, talking with college coaches and coaches from all over the country will be on my talk shows throughout the off season. There's no off in my season. All right. Subscribe to the Shore Football Report. And also, more importantly, make an appointment to Accucare.
And now we move on to Group 1, where there's two Patriot Division squads still alive. Our only teams left in this group in South Jersey Group 1, we have Asbury Park, which absolutely rocked Pittman 54-21 for an impressive first-round win. They are going to take on Maple Shade. Asbury's trying to make a run at their first title since 2016. Raleigh Stevens had 3 touchdowns of 40-plus yards in the win over Pittman. Jashawn Carter, 3 TDs. Basically, all the playmakers were on full display and a really impressive win for the Blue Bishops. Maple Shade comes in 7-game winning streak. They've scored 30-plus in their last 3 games, but the defense is really the backbone of this team. They haven't allowed more than 14 points during this whole winning streak. Meanwhile, Asbury is averaging 30-plus points a game. And again, it always bears saying over and over, Asbury's season almost like ended week 1. They just thought we're going to have enough guys or we're going to disband the team. And now here we are on the doorstep of a state final. But I think when you look at Asbury in the scheme of the Shore, you're like, oh, that's a good small school team. In Group 1, you're like, who has as many playmakers as they have?
Asbury Park can play anyone in an overtime period game. They can. 4 plays, they can do it. In a longevity game, they probably wouldn't be able to because of their numbers. But give credit to Lamar Davenport, first-year head football coach that had to do all those obstacles to get his team going. Group 1 is the hardest level to coach because one injury, one guy can't play, one discipline, it may trickle down to your long snapper, your Mike linebacker, and your 22-yard, a play running back. So Asbury Park does a great job. He does a great job balancing all this stuff out, and he's got Asbury Park in the state semifinals. And I think that they're a favorite against Maple Shade. They're a threat. They got guys that go the distance. I know Raleigh Stevens took a kick return for a touchdown. Jashawn Carter had a really big game. Jashawn Brown had another big game too. So their big stud guys were really clicking last week.
Yeah, and again, we talked about programs that are experienced versus ones that aren't. I mean, Maple Shade has only been in a state final one time in their history, whereas Asbury has a long, illustrious history, numerous state titles. They only have 2 playoff wins in their entire history as a program. So Asbury comes in as the much more experienced team. And Lamar Davenport did all this as a player himself during that run in 07, 09. Yeah, he was part of a team that won 3 in a row before he went on to have a nice career at Monmouth. So he knows all about what this journey is like. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think with the firepower they have offensively, they're certainly a favorite in this game. I mean, that's the big matchup, right? Maple Shade's defense that's been playing so great against Asbury's offense that has been just blowing up the scoreboard here for the last couple weeks. That's a great matchup to me. I mean, and, could Maple Shade muster enough offense in this to give them a run? Nico Santori had 7 catches for 130 and 2 TDs last week in that game. But, yes, you're right. I think there's a good chance that you could put Asbury into that state championship game.
Yeah, it's great. And, again, Raleigh Stevens is one of the most underrated football players in the Shore Conference, playing playing safety, running the jet sweeps, and does it all, punt return, kick return, and he's a leader on and off the field, which is important at Asbury Park to get to where they're at right there. Now, one of their rivals is playing on the other side, Coach Kaz. So Kaz is playing now. Kaz, sure did a great job. They won 23-16 against Manville, who we know beat Keyport in the opener. Shore took it to him. Jackson Whitaker, he's an outstanding two-way player, tight end, DN, just dominated in the game. And they played as a team, and they overcame a lot of stuff to win and get to the next round. I know they're a little banged up. They're playing a Woodbury team that potentially could be beaten, I think, if Shore kind of gets healthy pretty quick in the next couple days. So that would be great if we can see a Shore Asbury Park final. Of course, why can't we dream?
Right. And not only that, it would be a rematch. Asbury Park beat Shore the end of the regular season that cost Shore a piece of that division championship. So that there would be a lot of, motivation on both ends there. But you're right, Shore really, that was an interesting game. They went up 17-0 on Manville, but then it got real close there in the second half. Sean Purcell, that really good running back for Manville, had like 180 yards rushing. That got them back into it. But yeah, Jackson Whitaker, a couple tackles for a loss, blocked a punt. Brendan O'Brien, big fumble recovery and a touchdown run. But yeah, the part of the story certainly though was Alex George and Lucas White, two of Shore Regional's top runners, didn't play because of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're out again against Woodbury, that really hurts. I mean, Lucas Roja had over 100 yards rushing, so he did a great job at quarterback. But yeah, missing those two guys detracts from that wing T rushing attack. Woodbury went out and pasted Pennsgrove 34-0. They're the defending champions in this bracket, which we should mention. Their quarterback, Brian Johnson, threw for 2,400 yards last year. This year, he's got 18 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. They're a high-scoring team. They played a good schedule. They played Salem. They played Haddonfield. They played some good teams. They've held teams to 14 or fewer points in 5 of their 9 games. So their defense is pretty good. Avari Morton, their senior nose guard, 275-pounder in the middle of that defense going against a short team that loves to attack people right in the middle of the defense. Anthony Reagan is a running back, too, had a pair of touchdowns. That's a son of the head coach, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, the question is, are these injuries going to catch up with Shore? And to me, this strikes me as who can impose their tempo on the game? Can Shore slow it down, get 3-4 yards of carry, move the chains, or will Woodbury be able to hit explosive plays and get up on them early?
Interesting matchup. In the past, you were a Central Jersey team, which Shore always was, and Woodbury was South. Now the way they snake it, for no rhyme or reason, you got Shore Regional, who is a South Jersey team, playing against a Woodbury team. This is a traditional power. They've never played before, ever. And Kaz has played in big games, so he really didn't know too much about Woodbury. Except that
this year, I definitely feel like there's some of the longest bus rides in the state or in some of these brackets. You have like Pleasantville's in Atlantic City, and they're playing in Hazlitt against Raritan. And now you got, Shore going all the way to Woodbury, way down in the wilds of South Jersey. It's crazy that you would say these teams are in the same section.
Yep. So, yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, again, like we said earlier, Group 1, if you have an injury, it could really affect your production as a football team because you got different guys that have to play. And, in Group 1, sometimes you're hiding one guy or hiding a certain scheme. You really can't do that as you get into the next level with semifinals and finals. So we'll see. I mean, one thing I will never doubt, Coach Kaz, their football team has been playing real hard, overcoming a lot of different things. They're 6-3 in the state semis. So is Asbury Park. They're 5-2. I'm looking pretty good right here with Shore Conference getting, hopefully, at least let's get one of them to the state finals.
Yeah, I mean, again, Shore's a great program that's been through all these games before. They're not going to be intimidated by the atmosphere. They're not going to be, they've seen a couple other really good teams on their schedule. So they're going to go down and battle. It's just really a question of, can they dominate the clock, shorten the game, control the tempo of this game, get out early, play to their defense, and prevent like the big explosive touchdowns. But obviously we said it's not easy to score on Woodbury. This could be a type of low scoring, special teams makes a difference, that kind of type thing. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, let's give the people what they want. Shore Asbury Part 2.
Well, low scoring game equals Shore. High scoring game, no cause.